Alright, welcome to another episode of Jay's Garage. So there hasn't been a lot going on the last 3 weeks or so. Got back from Long Beach and car's still on the trailer. And I haven't done anything with the carburetor. We just put it back on and it's good for like a quarter throttle. Any much more than that, it just doesn't want to run right. But I did get some new jets for it, some new metering rods for it. So one of these weekends soon, I'm gonna bug the neighbor to knock it off the trailer and fiddle with that. But he's busy, and I don't want to bug him every weekend to do something. So anyway, that's what's going on there. I do plan on getting some new wheels for it. They're Weld V series. Check it out. They're pretty awesome. Usually I get like bigger in the back, smaller in the front, kind of like drag tire kind of like deal. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep with the same kind of setup as this, but I'm going to have a better offset to where the wheels are in a little bit more, front and back, especially the front, because as you remember, if you go back to the other videos, the top bolt for the inner fender and to the fender, we had to take one out on each side because the tires were rubbing, because it's the way it sits. And these shocks, they're Coney shocks, and they suck. This thing, when you go around the corner, it leans so hard. They're not that old, and they don't work. Anyway, so gonna be getting those those wheels and tires. I gotta figure out what width and whatnot I want, and I'm looking at getting some adjustable, coil-over adjustable for the fronts. There's a guy on my Nova page, Pacific Northwest Nova 68 to 72, that has a set, but I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'm not sure if what the weight rating he has, if it will be good for this, because you got however many pound pressure for the springs. You got a small block or bigger block, or a small block with aluminum heads, so on and so forth. So it kind of depends on the weight and a few other things. Also, so a little bit of news on my 555. So I was talking to Chris Straub. He's from Tennessee, I believe, and he was saying that if your cam is ground perfect and your lifter bores are off a little bit, when you're talking about about 1,000 horsepower engine, if it's off a little bit, like a few degrees up to 9 degrees, you can be dropping like 40 horsepower. And so I'm gonna be really close to making this thing over or under 1,000 horsepower, the 555. So I'm gonna do everything that I can do to make sure I get this. So in a little bit, I'm gonna go in there in the garage. I'm gonna show you the block I have in there. It's a small block, and I'm gonna explain a little bit what I'm talking about getting the angles right. So, but the little bit on it. So you got your lifter bore. They're like angle about like so. And if they're off a few degrees, one way or the next, then your cam timing is going to be off that little bit. And when you have a lot of horsepower, if it's off like however many, let's say like 5%, 5% of 1,000 is how much, but we might be talking like 1 or 2%. I don't know. But so I'm having, I told my machinist, he doesn't have equipment in his shop to do it, so he's going to take it somewhere else so they can check it out, do the measurements and make sure everything's good or not. And if it's off a little bit, I'm going to have all the lifter bores bored out and bushed. So then they'll be perfect and maybe gain me a little bit more horsepower. So anyway, so that's what's going on. Not a whole lot else going on. Got my car show coming up. It's in November 19th at Biscay's Classic Chevy, 2022. So next month. So 4 weeks from today, basically. This is the 15th. So yeah, this is Saturday. So 4 weeks from today. Anyway, if you're watching this anywhere close to Biscay's Classic Chevy in Centralia, Washington, come on down. Bring your car there. It's at $15 to get your car in. So if you just want to watch, come on down and check it out. Hoping for a good over 100 cars. I got some food's going to be there. Meathead's Barbecue, and from Long Beach. I got someone coming from Raymond to come clear up to Centralia. They have a coffee trailer. So anyway, so I'm gonna finish this video in a little bit. I'm gonna probably tomorrow. I'm gonna go into the garage and do a video of my block in there to kind of explain a little bit more. I'm a visual person, so that's what videos are for, to show what we're talking about. So anyway, thanks for watching Jay's Garage. I'll add a little bit to this video in a little bit. Thanks. Alright, let's turn this thing around a little bit. So the other day I was talking about the lifter bores. So here's a lifter bore. I can't see that one, but there's one there, over here. So what happens? These are supposed to be bored perfectly, and at a whatever degree, I don't know. But let's say this one is just a couple degrees this way, right? A couple degrees this way, and this one's a couple more degrees this way, and this one's this way, like 9 degrees from where it's supposed to be. Maybe this one down here is more this way by a couple degrees, and this one here is over this way 9 degrees from where it's supposed to be. So what happens is, got your push rod, right? Push rod goes up and down, and because you got your cam in there, so when the cam, let's say this is the cam right here, cam lobe, and you got another one here. When it comes up to full, we call it full lift, right? It lifts the valve up. So let's say, let's see, what am I thinking here? So it lifts it up all the way, and if these are off like 9 degrees, then your timing isn't going to be perfect. Your valve isn't opening up exactly when it's supposed to be. And you can lose, like on a, let's say on a 1,000 horsepower, Chris Straub was telling me you can lose, 40 horsepower by these being off. So 1,000 horsepower, if you lose 5%, that's 50 horsepower. So what they do, they bore these bushings out. They bore them all out, and then if they need to be, if they're off a bit enough, they can bore them all out and put bushings in there, and then they are all perfect, and then you're good to go. So that's what I'm having done on my 555. I'm having them checked. If they're all good, I don't need to mess with them. But if they're off a few degrees, every one of them, or enough of them, if they're out enough, I'm going to have them bored out and new bushings put in there. Well, I hope I explained that good enough. If not, Google it, something, I don't know. Anyway, so that's pretty much how it was explained to me. Maybe I didn't explain it good enough, but anyway, that's it in a nutshell. So I was forgetting something else in my earlier part of this video. I don't remember what it is now, but I just remembered I was forgetting something. Anyway, thanks for watching another episode of Jay's Garage. I'm going to be doing putting some other videos together that I mentioned a while ago. My wife racing. I got a lot of editing to do because when I'm doing the videos, I'm going like this, and moving around and up and down, or going like this, and then I have to move, and it's all over the place, and it's hard to put a video together like that when it's moving around so much. But some of you wanted to see more video of my wife racing, so I got her some video of her last year, because we didn't go out this year at all, neither of us. Anyway, so it was last year, her running the black car and then the yellow car. So I'm going to put those together and post them up. So they might be a little bit wavy, but whatever. It's just for fun. All right, thanks for watching Jay's Garage.